Hello, David Mayo from MLive here with Kyle Meinke here from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, and the Lions won 139-35 over the Colts today. But I'm curious, Kyle, whether you thought you were in San Diego for last year's opener. The Lions were up 21-3 in that game too.
By the end of the game, I thought I might have been back in Ann Arbor a couple of years ago when they had that thriller when Michigan had the thriller against Notre Dame. It was a wild finish. I'm still struggling to come up with the words, Dave, just to describe, because I'm with you. It felt like deja vu all over again with the Chargers. It was the same halftime score, 21-10. The Lions were losing momentum after staking themselves to a huge lead. The defense was falling apart. You really felt like it was going to be deja vu. And when the Colts pushed ahead in the end, I really didn't think they had it in them, the Lions, but in the end they were able to pull it out.
This is it's an odd game, and I'm curious. This is 4 years, I think, for you on the beat, and you know, a 16-game season, a week off between games. Do you believe in momentum?
Sure. Yeah, in football especially, I think. Yeah, I believe. I mean, you saw it today. I mean, the Lions couldn't do anything wrong in the first half. I love what I saw from Theo Riddick. Love what I saw from Amir Abdullah. They're two very high points for the Lions. They really struggled to rush the football last year, last in the league in rushing. And Riddick, 21-yard touchdown the first time he touched the ball this year. He had never had a run in his life that in his professional life of that distance. And so there's a lot to like, but as soon as that switch flipped, the Lions fell apart. And I think that you feel good about the win, but you have to be really concerned about the defense going forward. Those guys came, and they have everyone back. Tyron Walker was out there, Nada, Ezekiel Ansah, DeAndre Levy was out there making his return, and they still gave up 35 points against a Colts team that sucks and that's shorthanded. And so I think that is something to be concerned about as you move forward.
They got some production early in the game, particularly from some of the roster bubble guys. Obviously, the tailbacks were heavily involved and everybody scored today, but also Kerry Hyder gets a couple of sacks, another guy who might not have made this team under certain circumstances. Washington gets a touchdown. How much do you think it helps them just getting that kind of production early?
Yeah, I thought they would get Washington, Dwayne Washington, a couple of carries in this one, just to get him going, get those, just to get him some momentum. But I thought, Dave, this was a big game for Bob Quinn. I mean, he's not playing, but you mentioned Kerry Hyder with a couple of sacks. That's a guy they could have cut easily, and no one would have batted an eye. They kept Dwayne Washington, and not only kept him, but carried him for game day and brought down and kept Zach Zenner down. And touchdown run for Dwayne Washington. And they look even like a Darius Barnes, a guy on nobody's radar during camp and even after camp, and then they kept him. And that was the biggest surprise, I thought, on the roster. And then he actually played on game day, and he actually made a nice special teams tackle. This was a big game for Bob Quinn. You saw a lot of his moves. Even look at the contract extensions he handed out 2 days ago. Theo Riddick got an extension. Huge game from him, 108 yards of total offense. And Sam Martin, contract extension, averaged 58.8 yards per punt, including a 65-yarder that put the Colts inside the 10 late in the game in the fourth quarter. I mean, this was a huge game for Bob Quinn and many of the moves that he's made in the recent weeks.